Hello guys, welcome to my channel. So in this video I am going to explain about how to handle exceptions in your Spring Boot application. Spring Boot provide a very good custom exception handling mechanism. So first I'll walk you through the code. So what I have is I have this product controller class. So it has a product controller and it has some endpoints for getting that book by ID. That is basically the product by ID and getting the product by name and getting adding the product. Okay, and after that I have auto-add product service. So I will call this product service dot find by ID with the product ID. If that product with ID is available, then I'll return the product. If not, I am going to throw product not found exception. Okay, the same is the case with get product by name. Then let's go to the product service. In the product service, I have the product repository auto-wide, and after that, like I have the logic for adding the product, and I have the like for find by ID and find by name. So I am using product repository dot find by ID with the respective ID. So this is the service class. And in the product repository, I am extending the JPA repository. It's an interface. Then I am giving product and the type of the primary ID, that is integer. And I have a method which says find by name. So it returns the optional of product. And this logic for this find by name is developed by in-memory proxy classes. And I have the error response. I'll explain what is this error response. So basically what I'll do means I'll start this application. Let's wait until the application gets started. So the application is coming up. So actually, what is the endpoint in order to access this get book by ID? So we need to use the product slash version v1, then get product by ID and with the product ID. Okay. So yeah, the application started. I am trying to access this endpoint. So I am using Postman as my client. So let's hit this endpoint. So localhost 8080 product v1 and get product by ID. So you can see you got the internal server error. Okay. So and when you check in the console, you can see product not found exception and product not found with ID 1. Okay. So you can see the client means the customer is using this application, and when he try to find the product with ID 1, you will be getting the internal server error. So with this internal server error, the client will not get to know what is happening. So why he is getting the error. Okay. Now we should handle the exception in a proper way. So now let's look at the first way of handling exception. That is the traditional way of handling exception. So in the traditional way, what we are doing is we are using try catch block. So this code I am putting it in the try block, and after that, then I am using catch block, which is the exception product not found exception E and throw E. So if I try to run this application and hit the endpoint again, so I'll get the same 500 internal server error. Because what I am doing is, so as soon as I encounter the product not found exception in the try block, it will come to the catch block. In the catch block, I am just catching that exception and I am just throwing it. Okay, nothing else I am doing. So what is the best way to handle this exception is we have something known as error response. Okay. So in the error response, we have these variables, that is the timestamp, local date timestamp, string message, and the string details. Let's use this error response in our product controller. Okay. So in the catch block, instead of throwing the exception directly, I am using error response. Error response is equal to new error response, and the for local date time dot now, and the exception message is e dot guest message, and details is product not found. Okay, I constructed this error response. After that, I returned it. Return new response entity of this error response. this error response, then http status dot not found. Okay, see, now why I'm doing this, let's try to run our application. So now what I am doing is I am in the catch block, I am constructing the error response and I am propagating that error response to the client. Okay. Now let's see what will happen. The application is coming up. Okay, the application started. Okay. Now I try to hit the same endpoint. You can see now you got the proper error message, the timestamp message details. And with this, the client can see that, okay, product is not found with the ID one. So that's why I'm getting this error message. So easily the client can understand. So this is one way of handling the exception. Okay, traditional way. Now there is another endpoint, get product by name. Okay. So I'll use this endpoint, get product by name, and I'll try to hit this. Okay. I am trying to search the product ID, the product name, that is my book. So after when you search this product name my book, you are getting the same internal server error because you are not handling this endpoint. Okay, so what you can do, the same thing again. You can go for try catch block, and after that you copy the same error message because it is the same product not found exception, and you put it over here. Okay, now let's try to rerun this application. Let it load, it's coming up. Yeah, once the application is up, I'll hit that endpoint. Come on, come on. Yeah, the application started and I am hitting this endpoint. Okay. See, now you got the proper error message. Okay. Product not found with the name my book and product not found. With this, the client can easily understand. Okay, product with name my book is not found. Okay, this is how we can handle the exceptions. Okay. So imagine in the product controller there are 1,000 APIs. Okay, like this get mapping, post mapping. There are 1,000 APIs are there. And in that 1,000 APIs, if 50 endpoints are throwing this product not found exception, if 50 endpoints are throwing this product not found exception, then you need to write this catch block code, this catch block code in all those 50 endpoints. Okay, that is not a feasible approach. So in order to solve that, we have the second concept, that is exception handler. Exception handler comes into picture. So what this exception handler will do means, exception handler will handle all your product not found exceptions. Okay. So how we can write that means, so I have this piece of code over here. So I have created a method public response entity, and the method name is handle product not found exception, and it is accepting product not found exception. And same this whatever the code that is there in the catch block, so I am copy pasting the same code and I am writing it over here. Okay, the same code is writing it over here, and I am annotating that method with @exception handler, and which exception this method is going to handle, that is product not found exception dot class. So in this controller, in this product controller, wherever the product not found exception is occurred, okay, so that will be handled by this exception handler. So that is what we are trying to achieve here. Okay. Now this catch block, everything is not required. Let's remove everything. This try block also not required. That means that this endpoint is doing its work, okay, rather than handling the exception. Here also we will remove everything. Here also we will remove everything. Okay, you can see the code is cleaner, and here the get product by ID. So this method is just getting the product by ID, and this is getting the product by name. It is not handling any exceptions. Okay, so if you For example, product service dot find by name. If the product with the particular name is found, then it will return the product. Okay, or else it will throw product not found exception. Then the product not found exception, this exception handler is responsible to handle this product not found exception. Okay, now let's try to restart this application. The application is starting. Let's see. Let it load. Where is my application? Okay. So actually, exception handling is a very important topic, and Spring Boot provide a very good way of handling these exceptions. Okay. So with the help of this exception handler, and we will identify something known as a port is already in use. I have not stopped this previous. So let me start it now. So with the help of exception handler and in a REST controller advice, we can handle exceptions in a more powerful way. Okay. So let it start. Yeah, the application started. Now what I'll do means I'll go to my Postman and I'll try to find the product by ID. Okay. So if I try to product by ID, I'll try it, now I'll try to, so you will getting the same response you will be getting. Okay. So you can see product not found with ID too, just to make sure that I am change the response is coming. So ID too you can see, and if I want to product by name, I'll say name of the book is bird. Okay, so I'll try to hit this endpoint, and you can see you got the proper error message, product not found with the name bird. Okay, so that means in the product controller, whatever the APIs that are throwing product not found exception, that is handled very gracefully. Okay, and the client is also seeing the very proper error message. Now imagine I have another controller. What is the controller? Order controller, and it is also throwing product not found exception. Okay, so when you hit this endpoint get order by ID and you pass the ID, it is throwing product not found exception. Okay, so I have this endpoint get order by ID and with the ID 1. Okay, with the I'll change the ID as 2. You can give 1 also because 1 is also not there. You can see again you got the 500 internal server error. Why? Because this exception this code is there, right? What is this exception handler code? This exception handler is handling the exceptions, that is product not found exception, which are there in the product controller only. It will not handle the product not found exception which is there in other controllers. So in order to solve this, what you need to do, you just copy the same code and you go here and again you add this code over here. Okay. Then after that you restart your application, stop and rerun. Let it load. It's loading. Yeah, I think the application is coming up. Yeah, the application started. Now I try to hit this. See, now you got this a proper error message. Okay. So this is how you can handle exceptions that are coming in order controller. So imagine if there are 1,000 controllers. Okay. In 1,000 controllers, you are throwing the product not found exception. Okay. So that means in all these 1,000 controllers, you need to add this code, this exception handler code. That is not a feasible approach, right? So in order to solve this, so we have something known as global exception handler. Okay. So what you can do here is instead of adding this code in the product controller, just remove it from here, and also in the order controller, you remove this code from here. Okay. So you add this code in a generic place. Okay. This REST controller advice, what it will do means this annotation, it will handle all your exception handlers in a centralized place. Okay. So what it means is throughout your application, wherever you can come across product not found exception, then this class is this method is responsible to handle that exception. Okay. So you can write it over here, and this exception handler is can handle this exception. That means REST controller advice will allow you to add all your exception handlers in a centralized place. Now I added only here. Now what I'll do, I'll restart the application. The application is coming up. Come on, come on. Let it come up. Yeah, the application is started. So what I'll do means I'll try it with the ID 3 now, and I'll hit this endpoint. Okay. You can see, yeah, the same, the proper error message with the ID 3. And if you go here and if you try to hit this endpoint, change the ID to 3, and if you try to hit this endpoint, you can see product for order is not found. Why it is printing product for order is not found means, because if you go to the product controller, so you are throwing this exception product for order is not found. That's why you are getting the same error message. Okay. And if you try to search the product by name instead of bird, I'll search wings. Okay. So you can see you are getting the proper error message, the product not found with name wings. That means wherever in the application, wherever that product not found exception is coming, okay, this global exception handler is responsible to handle that exception. So all those exception will be handled by this exception handler. Okay. So that is this is how you can handle your exceptions in a centralized place and with more effectively. And also, for example, if you want to change the error message, you just change the error message product not found successfully, something. Okay, like this. So it will be applicable everywhere throughout the application. But if you are adding it this method in all the controllers, then you need to go and change in all the controllers. That is a very hectic work. Like maintenance of the project is going to be very high. So here the maintenance, everything will be very easy. And also, for example, if order is throwing order not found exception, okay, any exception. So you can say array index out of found exception, array handle array, okay, and you can say, so like this, if for example any exception, if it is order not found exception or any exception, you can handle this, you can create an exception handler, and you can handle it over this REST controller advice. So REST controller advice will give you a centralized place where you can handle all your applications, okay, all your exception in a proper way. So this is how the exception handler works, and this is the use of REST controller advice. We have another annotation also, that is controller advice. Controller advice is mainly used in MVC applications, and REST controller advice is mainly used in a REST controller this application REST APIs, because we are returning the JSON, not the view. Okay, so that's why we are using REST controller advice. So I think that's all for this video. If you have any doubts, please write it in the comment section, and thank you so much for watching.